Hey, it's Cecilia. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I don't know if you can tell, but I'm not alone. I'm here with my friend Julia, who's my astrologer. She's my friend. She saved me when I was in my late 20s by explaining to me what my Saturn return was. And there's been something that I've been wanting to talk to you about for a while that's astrologically based, but I was coming here today anyway, and I thought we'd get Julia to talk about it. So what it is Mercury retrograde. If you're my friend on Facebook, I'm always saying, oh, Mercury's retrograde, blah, blah, blah. But I thought we'd get it from the horse's mouth. So hi, Julia. Oh, Julia's an astrologer. She's a tarot card reader. She's amazing. Hi.
Hi, thank you.
So, Julie, what's Mercury retrograde?
Basically, on a technical level, what Mercury retrograde is it's when from Earth, Mercury looks like it's moving backwards. Usually 3 times a year. It happens for about 3 weeks each time.
What does it mean? Like, because I hear it, I talk about it all the time and people hear it all the time, but what does it mean to us when Mercury's retrograde?
Well, Mercury in the sky describes our relationship to communication, to transportation, and to commerce or the marketplace or sales. So I put a lot of thought into this. Is Mercury retrograde good or bad?
And?
It's actually both.
Okay.
It's Mercury retrogrades are good for some things, and not Mercury retrograde is good for others.
Okay.
So it's just like snowshoes, skates, both good, but skates are better on a rink, snowshoes better on packed snow. When Mercury is retrograde, it's the time when the universe wants us to pull back from life.
And so we're not very good at that.
No, but it is fantastic for that. So one of the things about Mercury retrograde, a good memory device, is that anything to do with Mercury retrograde, there's a lot of things going on.
Okay, so what does that mean?
So in terms of the negative aspects of Mercury retrograde, we're supposed to be pulling back from life. But if we're not, if we're frantically making appointments, which frankly we have to do, or if we're running around like crazy, or if we're shopping like crazy, that's not going to go well for us.
Okay.
So when Mercury is retrograde, often we're going to have a lot of difficulties with transportation. So public transit is going to be slower.
Like today.
Like today.
I was 20 minutes late for our appointment today.
Like today. When we had those volcanoes erupting and the airplanes couldn't fly, that was during a Mercury retrograde period. So you may have trouble with your car. You might twist your ankle.
Yep.
Anything about movement can have more trouble.
Okay.
So do we have to be in trouble? What does it mean that there could be more problems around transportation? Well, in order not to have trouble, we need to be more careful on the ice. Or if we have to go somewhere and it's important we be on time, we want to allow extra time to get there. So we just want to compensate for the fact that we may have difficulty getting around.
Okay, so difficulty getting around.
Yeah. In terms of communication, our communication during Mercury retrograde is supposed to be more inner. We're supposed to be thinking about what are our true priorities, what are our true values, where are we at now?
So like more in terms of like a conversation with yourself, like communicating with yourself?
Exactly. We're more inner directed, more reflective of our own personal, where is our life at, what needs to be done. It's our time to take a breath and catch up with ourselves. That's really what it's for. So during Mercury retrograde, all of us are in this inner kind of focus, which is why people are driving like idiots, which is why we make poor shopping choices, which is why we're not really listening when people are talking to us. So there is a lot of difficulty around communication, and this is verbal communication. So I'm thinking about something else, you're talking to me, you said something, now I'm really angry at you. I didn't actually hear what you said.
Right.
I was inside of my own head. So on the communication level, there can be interpersonal difficulties, but also on a much more sort of mysterious level, things will happen like, which is happening to me right now, my printer doesn't want to talk to my computer. Why? I don't know, but it does happen every single Mercury retrograde.
Okay.
So anything to do with computers, telephones, voicemails, snail mail, any of that stuff is more potentially problematic. But again, having this knowledge gives us a leg up. So if there's a really important communication, if it's verbal, we want maybe to say, do you know what I mean? Are you getting this? And have the person maybe give back to us what we said. And in terms of emails and snail mail and all that kind of stuff, we want to be sure, did they receive it? They may not have.
Right.
So it involves a lot of sort of checking in, checking up. But if we have this information, if we know that Mercury is retrograde, we can make things a lot easier for ourselves. And also, another thing I find very valuable about the Mercury retrograde is that, when things go wrong, it's like, oh, well, Mercury's retrograde. Right. I don't take it on. I don't think I blew it in some way. I don't take it to heart.
Yeah.
It's just Mercury retrograde. So if you aren't careful, if you just try and make things be business as usual, then you're going to do a lot of the negative re-ings. You're going to have to renege. You're going to have to reschedule. You're going to have to return that object that you bought.
Yeah.
You're going to have remorse and regrets if you aren't working with the energy. On a positive level, our Mercury retrograde times are the time to restore, replenish, remember. And frankly, I welcome certain parts of the Mercury retrograde because it means if I'm confronted with a social obligation, I don't know whether to go or not, I'm not going to go.
Yeah, so is this more like, so what is good to do during Mercury retrograde?
There are so many things that are good to do. It's a great time to clutter clear. It's fantastic. It's not the time to send out your resumes, but it's a great time to review your resume. It's not the time to get a new business going, but it's a great time to do the research into your industry. Again, another reword, research. So it's a great time to go inward, to gather our forces together, see what we've got, see what needs to be repaired. It's a great time to get things fixed, to see what needs to be tweaked or revised, all those positive rewords. But those things, to sit with something and know if it's still good or not, or how we need to fix it, it takes time. And we don't have that time when we're running around doing a lot of emailing, visiting people. And those things are good during Mercury direct, less good during Mercury retrograde. So during Mercury retrograde, we just pull back from the social whirl. We get our house together. We do some repairs. We do some cleaning. I find for my clients who are academics, it's a fantastic time for them to do writing. It's wonderful for writing because writing, the focus is inward.
Okay, so this is great. So just to recap, so Mercury retrograde, not great for
shopping.
Don't go out and buy things.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, every time I've bought something during Mercury retrograde, even if it's just like, I bought a white t-shirt once, I'm like, what can go wrong with this t-shirt? The first time I wore it, green smoothie all over it. So not a good time to buy things. If you have to travel, give yourself some extra time. No, it might take a little longer.
Yeah.
Not a good time to make big decisions.
Well, it's a great time to think about the decisions. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you don't want to sign a contract.
Okay, so no contract.
No, it's a great time to make decisions because you have the space to go inside and really reflect on what's going on. So it is good for that.
So make the decision, but don't sign the contract.
Yeah. Plan your wedding, don't get married.
Plan your website, don't launch it.
Perfect. Yeah.
And it's a good time. So this is actually really great that it's winter time.
Yeah.
And Mercury is retrograde right now.
Yeah.
So it went retrograde on the 6th of February.
Yeah.
Which is why I was late today. So it is a good time for us to be a little bit more inward, to be more reflective, to learn about things, to explore, to clear clutter.
Perfect for clearing clutter.
Yay! So this is great.
Yeah.
Mercury retrograde. I mean, I have to say, I used to really hate Mercury retrograde, but I have come to love it because there is this permission to just slow down. Yeah. It doesn't need to be this big rush. Thank you, Julia.
You're welcome.
And thank you, you guys. So if you're watching this and you're not on my list, you better get on it. You can sign up below. And I just want to give you love, heart wings. Look, I'm wearing my heart wings necklace. Heart wings. Bye.
Bye.